and we start our last module. And then we know that the modules are a way to strengthen our training, no? And then it's something that we do with all the idea, no? That can you see the screen now? Sister Martina, can you see the screen?
Father, yes,
yeah,
Father.
fine, Father.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we start and welcome everybody. And anyway, we put also in record so the material can be used for any other presentation or work, especially in the localities. Also, here we have Father ToT. He was very kind, so he was very join us. Yes, I hope at the end Father ToT give a small talk also. And then we have today this topic is called Theology of Creation, rooted on indigenous spiritualities. And then we selected this topic because it's very important to this framework. We are going to work in the Roots Asia, that is Catholic Network for Indigenous Peoples. And then it's very important to have a framework, especially in the sense of theology. You know, the theology, sometimes we assume it is something very far away, something that is studied only by people who want to be a priest, etc., etc. But actually, theology is something more deeper. So everybody can do theology because it is the meaning of studying and walking in the mystery of God. No? And then that's why we can talk also about what we call the contextual theologies. It means that the theology we do as a church or as a group of believers in a particular region or particular reality. That's why we can talk also about indigenous theologies. No, the other people say tribal theologies or something like that. So I think we finalize our modules with this sense of theology that is behind also about this process of organic intellectuals and the training of trainers for our communities. So that because we go also in that sense of a person, a leader, or a group that has a faith, you know, in God the Most High. And then in that sense, so we had to review some. It is very, very, very complex, but we can start to walk in that sense also, no? So the first thing is this theology of creation. We are going to root in the indigenous spirituality. And then we have three activities of the Catholic Church in the last years, especially under the magistry of the Pope Francis. There were three moments. There were many moments, but these three moments I want to underline. No, the first is the synodal church, you know, that talk about communion, participation, and mission. These three concepts or key concepts had to a big, close relation with indigenous peoples. The second is the Laudato Si. We are in the anniversary also, no, Laudato Si, 10 years already. And then in this encyclica means letter of the Pope. So he talks very much about the indigenous peoples. And then the other is Querida Amazonia. In Spanish, Querida Amazonia means Dear Amazonia. For the Amazon people it was the synodal, the synod of the bishops of the Amazon region, no? That it includes all the countries of South America around the Amazon basin, no? And then all the people who work there, and then they meet. No, this has become an inspiration for everybody. So especially for us in the indigenous peoples of Asia, it would be very important. So we dream to have a kind of synod for the indigenous people of Asia in that same way, because Asia is full of indigenous groups, and the Catholic Church, as according with what we have in the documents of the FABC, AF, not the Federation of Asian bishops, no, it is said 70% of Asian faithful are indigenous. So it means a very, very big percentage part. So that we have to have a kind of big reflection, deep reflection. That's why these initiatives like the ToT, like the Roots, like the RTRC, here we have in Cambodia working in Don Bosco with indigenous students. So it's very important, no? Because we need also a kind of, like we say, querida Amazonia, we need a querida Asia, no? A dear Asia for the indigenous people. No? This Pope Francis was really near to the indigenous spiritualities. So there is, we are going to review only three articles, sorry, of the Laudato Si. In the first article, Laudato Si, we have the mention of Mother Earth. And this is a concept that is very dear to the indigenous communities. No, we say the Pope used the the quote of Saint Francis of Assisi: "Praise be to you, my Lord, through our sister, Mother Earth, who sustains and governs us, and who produces various fruit with colored flowers and herbs." So this is a concept that is very, very deep in the indigenous communities, no? The sense of Mother Earth. Here we put one mother, no, from one indigenous communities in Borneo, no, that represent that the sense of this motherhood of the creation, no? So you see that many people call the nature as mother, because no, she gives life, no, uh, helps the plant grow, gives food and water, take care of the all living things. No, just as babies come from a mother's body, like also come from the earth. No, then this is a sense that is very near to the indigenous people. It was taken by the Pope for the reflection, no, and then we see that this meaning is not new to the Catholic Church or the theology of the Catholic Church. Is a meaning that is also very ancient, so it's not new. No, like you see, for example, San Francis of Assisi, no, was talking about it like what that you say 1,000 years ago. So it means that is something that we have to rescue today. The second part of the article of the Laudato Si, it talks about that this sister now cries out to us because of the harm we have inflicted on her by our irresponsible use and abuse of the goods with which God has endowed her. We have come to see ourselves as her lords and master. No? The people, some people see the Mother Earth as they are the master, that they can do with her whatever they want. Destroy, take and abuse, take all the resources they think they are for them, and also even doing violence. No, and then they say the violence present in our hearts, wounded by sin, is also reflected in the symptoms of sickness, evident in the soil, in the water, in the air, in all forms of life. This is why the earth herself, burdened and laid waste, is among the most abandoned and maltreated of our poor. She groans in travail, according to Romans 8:22. We have forgotten that we ourselves are dust of the earth. No, our bodies are made up of earth. No, that this sense is very important. That is very important now. Then uh, we want to review the article 146 of the Laudato Si. That is very, very beautiful. It says, in this sense, it is, well, we divide it in some points here. One of the mention of the popes is the special care for indigenous communities and their cultural tradition. And then in this Magister of the Pope Francis, so this become a very important part of the identity of the church. no, to care for indigenous communities and their cultures tradition. This is an order. This is a command, no, that will be followed. It is not an option, no, that we want or not want, no. So the church, no, has a special care for indigenous communities in their cultural tradition, not look down to them, no. The another point of this article, 146, you remember it, is they are not merely one minority among others. Especially some people are referring to indigenous people like minority groups. And when they stress that word of minority, what happened? That the their rights are reduced also. No? They say, oh, this is just a small group there. No, only few people there. And then the document stressed that. No? It is not just one minority among others, but should be the principal dialogue partners. Now we are talking about the church talking, not somebody deciding or thinking by himself. The Catholic Church said that the principal dialogue partners are these indigenous peoples, especially when large projects affecting their land are proposed. And then we have seen many projects of development that are affecting the indigenous territories, communities, etc., etc. And the Catholic Church is inviting that we put the indigenous people in their place, that is to be principal dialogue partners. So this is very important for us now. And then the other part of the article 146 is it reminds that for indigenous peoples, the land, no, we talk about the land, the territories are not commodity. Commodity means an object I can use and abuse and forget or remember, etc. But the land is not only just a commodity, like we say, my private property. Some people have a piece of land or many hectares of land, and they use that as a commodity. They can exploit it and after sell it out, etc. This is not what the communities, the indigenous peoples do. No, the land is not a commodity, but rather a gift from God. So it comes to be more transcendental. So it comes to be available. It's a gift from God, it's sacred, and from their ancestors who rest there. No, many indigenous peoples bury their ancestors in those territories, a sacred space with which they need to interact if they are to maintain their identity and values. So then we have to understand that when we talk about indigenous territories, we are not talking about a kind of property. You know, some people think the indigenous people have a lot of land. They are land owners, or they have land. No. We are talking about this spiritual sense. First, recognize that the land is a gift from God. And then second, that their ancestors are buried there. And then that's why we call it a secret places. Now that's very important. We remember again, we are talking from the church. This is word from the Catholic Church. And then itself is when the indigenous people remain in their lands, and then it is very, very practical because the indigenous people will take care of their land and they know how to do it. They do not need to learn. No? For example, as I said, there are many processes today, no, like they are talking about permaculture. Permaculture is a concept that you can find in that was created in Australia. Permaculture by an Australian man. But when you see it is actually a copy from the indigenous ancestral knowledge. That's why we are talking also about to recover the indigenous knowledge. There are many things that are presented like Western science or technology, but they are based in indigenous wisdom. So because then that's very important, if the indigenous peoples have the right to their lands, these lands will be protected and it will be beneficial for everybody in the planet. because it will protect also the environment and will guarantee sustainability for all, not only for them. Now, when we say one territory is under the care of an indigenous community, we are giving actually it for a community that knows, that have a wisdom. And then there is also a denounce, in the Laudato Si, of many abuses. For example, it is said in various parts of the world, pressure is being put on them to abandon their homelands to make room for agriculture or mining projects, which are undertaken without regard for the degradation of nature and culture. We have seen that the picture you can see there is in the Amazons in Brazil, and how the forests have been cleared up by agriculture people, no, who think that it should be used, that land should be used for the production of massive meat, no, etc., or plantation, etc., no. And then it not only means to clear the forest, it means also to clear it from indigenous peoples because they are there, no? And then there comes many other situations like violence and things. No? So now we are going to do something very short about what is theology of creation. No? And then there is a difference between theology of creation and the word or the concept we call creationism. The creationism is something very different, nothing to see with theology of creation. So in the creationism, it's very important that we also know about this because some people can confuse it. No, the first thing, creationism is talking about or referring to literalism. Something literal is it is written like that, and then you have to follow it like that. No, like for example, in the Bible, it is written that if your right hand is a cause of sin, so you have to cut your hand, and then literally you will do it. Now you will go and you cut your hand. This is literalism, no? And then in the creationism, they believe, no, and we also have to know that the Catholic Church also was believing in this some decades ago. This is not something out of the Catholic Church. So in the church, now for a certain period of time, there were people believing in this sense, no? Believe that the earth was created in 24 hours day, no? 7 days, no? Days, real days, no? Monday, Tuesday. And it was about from 6,000 to 10,000 years ago, no? They believe in that. We can see also some groups, Christian groups, believing in this thing. The second thing of the creationism is the rejection of mainstream science, no? So then they only believe, we believe only in what is written in the Bible, in the scriptures. And then it means that we had to deny things like evolution, natural selection, and cosmology. So all these things are fake because it is not written in the Bible. It is called rejection of mainstream science. The third point is culture war framing. So and then creationism is very often used as political or cultural stance against secularism or scientific institutions. So it can become political. And the most important for us is the intolerance against indigenous spiritualities of creation. No? Then when they see, for example, stories of creation by indigenous communities, so they condemn that. No? They say these indigenous spiritualities are wrong or even diabolic, so bad, no, and sin. So these indigenous people are ignorant and they had to believe what is written in the Bible only, no? And then that's the problem of creationism. So why we have to be aware of that? Because still some people who can believe in such things and can, for example, some missionaries go to the communities with these ideas in mind. And then they can impose it on the communities and start to make things confusing. So we have to also to be aware of that. No? And then what the difference with theology of creation? So with this theology of creation, as we say, we can continue studying this subject, we will see that it is something that is also very ancient. So it is also rooted in the same scriptures, and there are many saints and writers and theologians throughout the history that have been also inspired by this. No, we say, for example, in the Carmelite spirituality, Saint Teresa of Jesus, Saint John of the Cross, we say Saint Francis of Assisi, we say other ones, and many other people. No, so the first thing is creation is ongoing. God's creative act is not a one-time event, but continues through natural processes like evolution. So in that moment, especially Teilhard de Chardin was one of the inspired of this point. So we say, for example, evolution is not an opposition of an obstacle for the action of God. Actually, it could be an instrument. No? Science and faith are partners. Now, Pope Francis affirms that evolution and the Big Bang are not opposed to believe in a creator. Actually, they could be these tools. The third one is creation has moral meaning. No? Then the world is not just material. It reflects divine purpose and calls for ethical responsibility. So, and then in this theology of creation, so we see the world is a creature from God, and it's a creature from God. There is something also mysterious in the nature. So, and then in that case, we have a different way to treat with the nature, with more responsibility. No, not just using it like a simple. In the other thing, no, the creation has nothing, no spirit, and then it can be used and abused without any consequence. No, it is like that. No, like the God gave to the humanity the things to use without any responsibility. No, just use because you can. But in this we have an ethical responsibility. So we see the water, we see the animals, the plants as part of this creation of God, and then we also have love for them. And the fourth one is dialogue with indigenous wisdom. So the Pope emphasizes listening to indigenous peoples who live in harmony with nature. No, we see already in some of the articles of Laudato Si. And then in that case, this is very important for us, no? Because in that sense, the spiritualities of indigenous people are not seen as something negative or something that is ignorant, etc., but something where some seeds of the spirit are there, so we can have that. No? And then there is one point in the indigenous wisdom in Asia that is very important. One value that's very important is called relational cosmology. And the relational cosmology, everything is connected. We find it in most indigenous peoples around the world. Now, for example, in the Abya Yala, that's the name that we call for Latin America, in Africa, in Australia. So in all these indigenous communities, we find this sense of connection with the universe. So it is called relational cosmology. It is very important also for indigenous people in Asia. No? So we see in this relational cosmology, so the individual, the person, no, inside a family, inside a community, no? And then there is the relation with the physical, no? The physical goes through the community, through the family, to the individual. The spiritual dimension, the intellectual dimension, the emotional dimension, no? And all this around, no? This is one way, you know, to analyze this sense of relation with everything, no? And then in Laudato Si, no, then the ecology is framed as environmental care. Not only you take care of the environment because you are afraid of the climate change. No, this is some idea that we had to overcome. We take care of the environment because also we believe that the environment, the Mother Earth, or the ecology, is also a sense of a spiritual and social relation for all of us, no? With the community and the nature. So and then we go beyond. No? For example, in the Amazon Synod and the Querida Amazonía, promote a church that listens to indigenous wisdom, embraces a relational worldview. It is very important. This relational cosmology is one of the main values of the indigenous spiritualities that is very important today for all humanity, not for indigenous communities alone. But the indigenous community, the indigenous relational cosmology is helping the humanity himself. No? And then it also will have a very good impact in the same Catholic Church in their communities. Now, because when you have this relational cosmology, there is an improvement, a quality for inclusive, dialogical, and rooted in local cultures. So that we see, for example, these missionaries coming to a community, so that we'll be connected with the community in another sense, not coming to talk and teach what to do and what should be, no? But meeting the people with more respect and listening and being, that's the importance of relational cosmology, no? We see, for example, the human needs. This point of human needs are very much stressed, especially by this society of consumerism in this moment. No, everybody buying things. No, you see people always thinking in buying things. I go to the market to buy. I stay thinking what to buy. No, and then in the past, I remember something was broken, and then we try to repair it. No, we try to reuse it. Today is everything become very cheap, and then you have to buy and every other time. No? Human needs, but in that we had to start to do a relation beyond the human needs with the nature's earth ecosystems. So all the things that we use every day are coming from somewhere. And then it doesn't come just from the factory, as some people will assume, or this comes from the market. It comes also from the environment. For example, your phone. Your phone has many materials, and many of these materials come from mines that are maybe in Africa, etc., and that could be affected the communities. So the nature ecosystem should be a relation that the human needs. One is sustainability management and participatory research, and then the nature's contribution to fulfill the human needs. Should be a relation, not that be among them. It should be. And then the indigenous knowledge system help this process. Now and then, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, he talks about the noosphere, and the noosphere means when human reason and spiritual awareness influence global systems. The noosphere for Chardin, it means that the reason, now that is very important today in Western technology and science, now meet with the spiritual awareness. Spiritual awareness. Now some people are very technological. They use technology very much, and then they don't see God in there. So they think that they are strong enough, and then they don't need God. But for Teilhard de Chardin, it is very important that the humanity will start to, to really go to a point of balance where it means reason and spiritual awareness. And the indigenous knowledge system is already a system of reason and spiritual awareness, no? Because they have this system that already can live in harmony with the nature. No? Then that we go through that. No? So just some points to clarify. One is, and in this clarification, we are going already to enter into the magister of Pope Leo the 14th, Leo, the Pope, that is also very related with indigenous communities in Peru. We say this Pope is really near to this sense of theology of creation. And then one of the things that we have to clarify is pantheism and panentheism. Now, these two, two concepts. Even don't need to learn about that, but the pantheism that believe that nature and God are the same. No? But the panentheism say that God is present in all creation. So we are in this point, no? In this panentheism. And then the Pope, about this problem of pantheism, so he said very important in one of the talks, he said, let no one irresponsibly destroy the natural goods that speak of goodness and beauty of the Creator, no must they submit to them as a slave or worshiper of nature, since they have been given to achieve our end of praising God. No? So the nature, no, is also a space for praising God, not for praising the nature himself. So we do not consider that the nature itself is God, no? But is a space of God. No? That's very important. And then for panentheism, so we can rescue this sentence of the Pope, care for creation is truly a vocation for every human being. We are creatures among creatures, entrusted with the responsibility to care for all that the Creator has made. So we care for creation, we care for nature, no? Knowing that this nature was created by God, by the Creator Himself. So it's very beautiful, this point that we can clarify very well. And then we say, for example, for indigenous communities, God is in all things, but things are not God's. That's the one point that we have to be clear in that point. And we say many references in the scriptures. Now, for example, in Colossians, he said, He is before all things, and in Him all things all together. Also, he said, so that God may be in all. Do know I feel heaven and earth, no? Declares the Lord in Jeremiah. And in Acts, he said, God does not live in temples built by human hands. Rather, he himself gives everyone life and breath and everything else. No? So very beautiful, this point that we can reflect in our communities. And we have some good example now. For example, in the Psalm 148, praise the Lord from the heavens, praise him in the heights, praising all his angels, praising all his hosts. And we know already the Canticle of Creatures, where Francis called the brother sun, sister moon, etc. So we can reflect.
Online class. Online class.
Yes, who is talking there? Okay, and then this is more or less some points for reflecting a theology of creation. And then it would be nice to ask you a question is, how in your indigenous communities you call Mother Earth? For example, in South America, we use the word Pachamama, no? Means Mother Earth. So, for example, in your communities, how you call Mother Earth? Maybe somebody want to participate a moment. Welcome. Eh? Now we have a time, so we can participate. Oh, you have questions also. How in your community you call Mother Earth or the nature? What do you think, Sister Martina? Ronnie, how you call Mother Earth in your community?
I think we call it Mother Earth. Bumi,
Yes, Father.
tempat tinggal kita. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Sister Martina.
Hello. Yes, Father. I got disconnected a little bit. In my language, in Khasi, Mother Earth, we call Kamei Ramo. Kamei Ramo. May mean mother.
Yes.
Ram O is the land.
Very good.
Land. So the Mother Earth. So May Ram O.
Do you think that sense of the respect for Mother Earth could be important for this, what it is reflecting the Laudato Si?
Yes, yes, Father, very much.
Okay.
Very much it is reflecting, yes.
What
And
about,
yeah. Yes, Father?
yes, we are asking now Ronnie, he was also mentioning the name of Mother Earth in his language and how it is seen in your community.
Uh, I still thinking it's Father, but I think we call it Ibu Bumi if we direct translation. Yeah. Ibu Bumi. Ibu means mother, then Bumi is earth. That's all,
Beautiful.
Father.
I think after everybody send
Yes.
the name of the Mother Earth in your own language, put it in the WhatsApp chat so we can put those names are very important. Siniwan in Thailand, how do you call Mother Earth in the language of the 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 community?
For your language,
Yes.
you Hoko. We call Hoko. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Hoko.
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 Beautiful. Yes. And June, are you there, Malaysia?
Hello, Father. Can you hear me?
Junior.
Can you hear me? No. No.
Yes, we hear.
I think my internet is not so good here. But for us, I don't really know if we have a for our Kadagan people for Mother Earth.
Yes.
But in our theory of creation for our people, we believe like our bounties from our nature, like the food that we eat, is actually a sacrifice from a daughter of God, Huminodun. So that's a longer story, but all the trees and the food that we eat is from her body when she sacrificed for the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good concession. Yes. So that's the sense of Mother Earth that provides for the sustain. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. So, Apurvo, how you say Mother Earth in your community in Sri Lanka? Okay. And Father Pedro, welcome.
Yes.
How are you?
Thank you very much.
How
This is good to have.
In your community?
Well, the language we have is Tanghaga, which is the created, the diversity. And then we have Migtanghaga, which is the one who creates. Yeah. So, and then the relationships, the continuing relationships with the ancestry. So the ancestry is very important in keeping this relationship going.
Very good, yes. That's very important what you say, Father Pedro, because we can also reflect in this sense of the concept of the Mother Earth and also the concept of ancestors. These two concepts are very important.
Ancestors are very important. they're the ones who keep the relationship. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. And also this interrelation, no, between everybody, everything, that is also very important. Yes. Okay, now we have some minutes more. We want to talk a little about the final work that could be the presentation of the local projects. And so you have already I will post again the link for the form, and then you can schedule the presentation of the local project. Now that would be between this month of September until November. No? Then everybody of the participants should do a presentation of what you are doing, no, to evaluate a little also the ToT, if we are going really doing the, the, the process, no, to do an impact in our communities. And then, you have any doubt about the presentation, it is the right time to talk. I think it's not something complicated. The first thing, the project can be presented by a single participant or by a team. The team also can be of people who are not in the ToT like participants. So for example, you have your own team. The other thing is the ToT in the local communities or in the country. No? Then you can present also about that. For example, one example could be the ones from Malaysia. So meet together and do a presentation of what is the proposal to celebrate the ToT that is local in Malaysia, no? And the same thing of the local projects. The local projects can be very different from the ToT, no? Or you can do a local project without the need to establish a ToT. That's something that you can discuss. So do you think you have any question about this? This is the right time we can talk. Okay, so and then we have the form. I will put again in the WhatsApp group. And I saw already two groups that with a schedule. And then we can schedule and we do a session like this online. And then the group, the team, or the person who want to present one of the projects, you do it, no? You present it. And then like this is the last activity that now is led by every one of the participants. And like this, we finish by December, no, with the final, the end of the ToT for this year, no. Apurvo, do you have any question?
Thank you, Father. Thank you for your bright eyes that you have seen my hands. No. So yes, I was wondering whether you get the project that we have submitted. You received the project?
When
Did you receive the project?
When did you send it?
Yesterday. Yeah. Day before yesterday, I think. Yes.
I will look for it. Okay, I will look for it. Yes.
Okay. Our question was when we were working in team, we were wondering that we have incorporated a package of interventions along with the ToT training that we are planning now. And we have planned several interventions like we will be having exchange program with the OIs. Initially, we will be like identifying the OIs. Then we will also having exchange program of the youths with the OIs, no? And gradually the recognition of the OIs and development of some materials for them, and then organizing the ToT and also some program for the children's on the language and cultural events. So, and also the moral values of the indigenous communities. This can, and also then also to develop some virtual library and to develop some instrument like AI for OI. No, this kind of package of interventions we have incorporated in one project, and we consider to continue these interventions for as a package for 3 years. No, so whether it is okay or do you have other guidance for this? And yeah, that's the question for now. Thank you for that.
Okay, very good. I will read the project you sent and maybe do some comments. Yes, and then when we do the schedule the presentation, so you can talk about the project and we invite also other members, participants, etc. to do comment. No, and we do a kind of interchange of knowledge, experiences, and things. That's the purpose, no, of sharing our project with all the members. So like this, we look for this support, no, to make that every local project goes okay, you know, with all the community together. Yes, very good. Thank you, Apurvo. Yes.
Thank you very much. Please let us know if you don't receive it yet.
Yes, yes. I will read it tomorrow, and I will send you some comments. Yes. Okay. Any other question? Father Nipot, can you say something just to start to conclude this session? Father Nipot? Okay. Okay, I want to show a little about the short film festival. So we conclude also with that. Can you see something?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Father.
Okay, so the
Yes,
idea of the short film festival is a short film, so it should not need to be something complicated. No, we can use 5 minutes, a video, or even you can do a documentary. No, and then especially focusing young people. No, hopefully the video is done by young people of the community. The most important is should be indigenous youth. Now that they participate, the topic will be called Anchored in Hope in our indigenous territory. So the topic is indigenous territories as a way of hope. No, and then we have that we, as we say already, we dedicated to Blessed Seferino Namuncura, who was an indigenous youth from Argentina, Mapuche, no? And then that's why we select his name, because he's a young indigenous man. And we have this that who can join young individuals or groups connected to indigenous community in Asia. Any indigenous nation, tribe, ethnic group, or community is welcome. No, and then the topic is our ancestral lands. That's why we call it Mother Earth, no, etc. And we can register here. I will publish it again in the WhatsApp group. You can register. The film should be between 5 and 15 minutes. And you have to say also a separate video to present your team. No? For example, those who do who we are, who is the director, the camera, etc. Do a small video, maximum 3 minutes. You can send it. Here is the email, no, to send the video. And there is another technical guidelines here. If you have any questions, you just can ask. And the judging criteria: creativity, storytelling, cultural indigenous representation. Now, for example, if a video it doesn't show any about indigenous peoples or indigenous territories, it would be no participating. You know? And then technical and artistic quality will be seen. I think today the technologies allow us to do something. No? The young people already knows how to manage cameras, lights, very interesting. No? And then we are now in the registration period until 20th of September. no? And then after, the video should be sent between October 20 to 24 in October. You submit your video, and in November 10 to 12, there will be the online film festival. It will be online, no? And then in December 7 will be the winners announced that will be in Bangkok, no? In the Roots meeting of that month. Here there is a kind of pricing is the first place a high quality camera, the second place a laptop computer, the third place a tablet device. No, after we see about that, I will put it also in the group so then we can participate. So don't be afraid. No, just today with a tablet, with a phone, the young people are very technical to do that. Or in the community, there are some communities that are, they do not have a lot of technology. You can help them, no? And then you can promote, no? For example, a community that is not too much technology, etc. So you can help them. No? You can do it. We were also programming for next month, or I think this month, sorry, some workshops for teaching something about filming. So online. And then if you want to send somebody to that small workshops, and then it will have a little, no, how you can manage the camera, how you can write a script for your video, etc., etc. So we help and promote, especially remember the idea is to make that young indigenous peoples can participate and show their communities, their etc. And the topic, remember, is ancestral territories. Okay. So, any question about the film festival?
Yes, Father Albeiro, thank you. I have one question.
Yes, how? Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can old videos be sent?
Sorry again?
Or it has to be new?
Yes, the video should be produced in this year. This year,
Or
2000.
this year itself, not the old
Yes.
one. Okay.
Not all ones, yeah, yes. All ones after can be shown in the festival, for example, like examples, especially to promote the indigenous communities, etc. So we can show it in the festival, but they do not participate because the video should be produced this year. Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Wanted to clarify that. Thank you for your initiative. Thank you. Appreciate it so much. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Hope to see your video. Beautiful like the video you show, huh?
Let us see. Let us see.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Also,
Okay.
thank you for your presentation on creation and land. It was very helpful. Thank you so much. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Father Report, you still around, Father? Okay, I think Father Report is not there. I want him to do a small greeting. Yeah, Father Pedro. Okay, and then I think that it's okay. I thank you very much for the participation in the online modules, as well in the meeting in Chiang Mai. I think it was a very wonderful time. So we have done a great work. So now I think the most important now is to apply what we have gone through, all these materials and talks, all the people who have shared, no, with their expertise and ideas and things. This is most very important, no? So the most important now is to act, no, to do something for the indigenous communities in our community, especially thinking in the missions, etc., that can be a space of dialogue, interchange with indigenous communities, and to see this new time. So that's very important. So next time we meet for the first group, that do a presentation of the project. I think that's very important because in that presentation we are going to see the real impact of the ToT. No, then this is the last module, and see you next time in the first presentation of the projects. Okay, I think we can finish now. You have any question more or observations? Okay. Okay, greetings and blessings, everybody, today in the Day of the Virgin Mary. And have a nice time and blessings to everybody. Good nights.